It's 10 o'clock. All is well on a rainy, foggy, gloomy Saturday morning here in sunny Southern California at Site B. I am the voice in the wilderness, affectionately referred to as the OGGM. It's about 10 o'clock. It's the 20th day of the year. It's time to check out what's going on in the gaming news. Somebody said I don't cover the OGL enough. Somebody says I pander too much to Wizards and Paizo. Somebody says, there's other stuff going on. Maybe you should mention it. I'm like, yeah, I do like once a month, twice a month, try and get caught up. So let's get caught up on other news stories we might have missed, bits and bobs. And first, our good friend Vegir Santanis, love him or hate him, has a Kickstarter that is coming to an end. He has repeatedly said to cover him or that I don't cover him enough. So here you go, Venger. Here it is. We've got his Kickstarter campaign for his Designing Worlds Like a Fucking Boss. He's looking to support. It's his world building DM guide from his alt experience and all the games he's run and created over the years. So if you are a fan of Venger or just a fan of world design and how people design crazy gonzo wackadoodle games like he does, give him a hand. Check it out. There. All right. So the next thing we got, because I got to mention this because we know it's going to come up. The second I saw this, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to come up. Where is it? Here it is. This one's from ENWorld. Thank you. There is going to be a tabletop role-playing game adaptation of the dating sim video game Boyfriend Dungeon Lands. This is from Mesa Perez and Kit Fox Games. Boyfriend Dungeon is a slice of life dating sim game. It's like all dating sim games. You go through a series of static pictures and text blocks to try and get your character to date someone. A lot of these are run through on live plays on Twitter and Twitch, mostly because they're funny and people like to watch how badly the Twitch person messes up the life of their static image. Of all the topics that we thought, that's the weirdest role-playing game I've ever heard of. Oh, else? No, that's the. Oh, here's one about. Nope, no, this one. This a dating sim role-playing game where you and a bunch of other friends come around, create a character who's trying to find someone to date because you're too socially inaccurate to just realize you'll have feelings for each other. All right, let's just read about this. Kitfax Games and designer Mesa Perez has releasing an officially licensed adaptation of the 221 video game Boyfriend Dungeon. The tabletop RPG uses Powered by the Apocalypse system. Yes, of course you choose that one because it's got the sex rules and replicates the hack and slash dungeon crawl and dating sim action of the original video game. From the product description, the cult classic shack and slash in an all-new format. Boyfriend Dungeon, Life on the Edge, is a tabletop role-playing game that lets up to 4 players plus a DM explore their inner psyche, confront their foes, and smooch swords. Role play as your favorite laser saber or make up your own weapon person. Wield your friends, defeat enemies, and level up your love around the table. This just sounds like a party game and maybe a kinky party game. Include 3 beautiful printed PDFs, core rulebook, character sheet templates, and a mini RPG one-shot quick start guide. All you need to bring is 2 6-sided dice and your imagination. It's a storytelling experience in the vein of the Boyfriend Dungeon video game, but you are not stuck in the one setting. You can really use it to roleplay as Arthurian knights, anxious roommates, an adventuring party, star-crossed Shakespearean lovers, and other things. So yes, you're playing through a dating sim dungeon trying to hook up your character with other characters or monsters. I mean, there's Delicious in a Dungeon, which is about a bunch of adventurers going through a dungeon and eating everything that they encounter. And some of you would think that's utterly weird and stupid. But if you've never seen the anime, it's freaking awesome. I love it. So, yeah, we know this is going to come up. We know there's going to be an uproar about how they're ruining the hobby and ruining the world because of making games about dating. Wait, my character has to try and talk to a girl? Yeah, we knew. Yeah. So the second I saw that one, I was like, I better tell you guys about that one. All right. let's head over to this channel. These guys rarely update their channel, but when they do, they tend to have a lot of information. So this is the Tabletop Gaming News channel. And, we used to check this one a lot when it first started, but then they just stopped posting stuff. There was like months at a time when they did an update. And then it's like they update maybe quarterly and they just give you a whole bunch of stuff. So thanks, Tabletop Gaming News. Here's some stuff we might have missed, especially maybe some OGL, OSR stuff. So we've got a campaign from Midnight Tower for a game called Battle for the Realm for 5e. So this is another 5e adjacent adventure path that is still technically playable. Look, 5e as we know it is still legal and playable until 2024 5e comes out and they tell us what the new rules are. So go crazy, play 5e. Green Ronin has picked up the license for the Valiant universe. We went over this before, and is coming out with a series of games based upon the Valiant universe. And you might be going, what's the Valiant universe? I've never heard of it. And it's a comic book line. Probably the most well-known character is Bloodspot because of that movie Vin Diesel did. But yeah, they've got some characters. It's kind of known, but definitely it's not one of the big three. There was a previous role-playing game, but now it's Green Ronin, so it's going to be using the Mutants and Masterminds rule set to play out the many stories in the Valiant universe. We've already gone over the Paizo news. We've got a new solo role-playing game coming out called the Magus and Oracle from Inspiration deck set. That's a solo role-playing game about going through Italian-based fantasy. Green Ronin is releasing a new expansion for their Expanse role-playing game. This is called Trades of the Expanse Journalists. So it covers one specific job in the Expanse universe. Journalists. Such a weird story about the Expanse. An idea that became a video game, that became a movie, that became a TV series, that became a book, that became a role-playing game. We've got a Choose Your Own Path card game from, doesn't say, it's called Spire's End Rangatiki. It's a standalone adventure, and people like it because it's, I guess, pretty. We've got the Elemental Stones game coming out. We talked about that. We've got an expansion for Alien coming out called Building Better Worlds. It's a world-building guide for the Alien role-playing game. So, but we could use it for any space game. If you've never been able to pick up a copy of Stars Without Numbers, this could be a good way to have a world-building rule set for space games. Unfortunately, it's Free League, so we know it's going to be outrageously expensive. We've got Dark Skies over Equestria. Doom and gloom come to the exciting world of My Little Pony role-playing game. This might be the best game of the year. Delve into the magical lands of Equestria and face the looming threat of enigmatic changelings. We've got the time-traveling superhero role-playing game called Evolve, based upon the rule set of Dungeon Crawl Classics. Dungeon Crawl Classic rule set is not something I would think would make a good superhero game, but it is based heavily on random stuff, so who knows? Unfortunately, it's outrageously expensive. We've got Tombs of the Thousand Doors, which is a mega dungeon for the Mouse Sitter role-playing game. So it's a mega dungeon, but it's because it's Mouse Sitter, so you play mice, but you could use it for anything. I mean, it's a mega dungeon, just geared towards mice. Level Up annual for 2023 of their magazine Gate Pass is coming out. We already talked about that. Monty Cook Games is releasing another product. This one is called Rust and Redemption. It's a toolkit for post-apocalyptic adventures. It'll cost $50 because it's Monty Cook. And it's a rich array of tools for players and game masters alike to delve into various post-apocalyptic scenarios and how to build those worlds. Or you can pick up Wretched Apocalypse, which does pretty much the same thing and is a lot cheaper. We've got another Kickstarter for a fantasy campaign. This one's called Magical Land of Yeld. It's an all-ages fantasy TTRPG. Doesn't say what system it is, though it's probably 5e. We've got Legends of the Mist, a new rustic fantasy RPG experience from the award-winning City of the Mist people. So it's using City of the Mist, but taking the mechanics and placing them in fantasy. City of the Mist using Powered by the Apocalypse. Elder Brain has releasing a new 5e adventure module called Torrent of the Spellholder. We already talked about Green Ronin getting the Valiant Adventure RPG things. We've got this weird periodic table of elementals D&D 5e resource. 382 people are not have backed this because they can't figure out how to go look at the elemental table and then base elements on it. I would like my characters to run into a calcium elemental this week. You know, the table of elemental chart is free, right? Via Modifius, which is a branch of Modifius, they have released a adventure called Winter Collection, which releases a whole bunch of war games and other things where they're promising to revolutionize the gaming industry. So Via Modifius is branching out into other parts by creating a new baby company inside their company called Via Modifius, and they've got 4 outstanding games coming out. At least they claim they're outstanding. I'm looking more for like a miniature skirmish. We've already talked about what Pathfinder and Starfinder has planned, and anything else. And now we're just getting to stuff we already saw. Yeah, so I think we're all cut up. So what's interesting about this is the utter lack of 50th anniversary information. So, you know, it's the 50th anniversary, it's the 50th birthday. But if we go to the search bar and we do Dungeons and Dragons 50th anniversary news, nothing. Somebody mentioned this earlier this week. I believe it was RPG Grandma, that there is no news. There's nothing really being said. I mean, you think there'd be a convention or a sticker or something, but no. We already did this. We already did this about the D&D Online and how they're celebrating the 50th anniversary, which the question was, wait, D&D Online is still a thing? You know, January 17th, IGN posted an article about how Wizards is celebrating. And basically, it was just the figure and what we already know from PAX. The Escapist in early December just went over the announcements from PAX. We already know what was announced from PAX, but we haven't seen anything yet. We don't have any release dates. Here's again from PAX. Now we're getting into news from 2022. Yeah, see? Nothing. Here's one from September of 2021. Amazon has no news. D&D Beyond has no news. They haven't updated the D&D Beyond news since July. July was the last time they updated the community context stuff. So I would love to tell you guys all the exciting news and all the exciting things the world of the hobby has planned for the 50th anniversary and how Wizards of the Coast is going to be embracing the 50th birthday of our beloved hobby, but there is none. So if anybody knows anything about what's going on 50th that I haven't found, please let me know because I'd love to share it with you guys. Please give Venger Satanis a second of your time to check out his Kickstarter. And if it's something you like, support him. His politics and my politics are as an opposite of the spectrum as they can be, but his ideas are already always pretty damn good. So yeah, check him out. And that's it. I was hoping to have something more interesting to talk about this week besides the boyfriend dungeon dating sim role-playing game. But at least we know there'll be some controversy to be all upset about it. How dare you make a role-playing game about dating in a dungeon? Oh, a bunch of people just want to sit around and talk about dating. That's cool. Why can't they just go to a bar and sit around and talk about dating? Isn't that really the same thing? Maybe, who knows? Maybe it'll help people who have trouble connecting socially with potential romantic partners better able to connect socially with potential romantic partners by just pretending they're playing their character. I'm going to go to the bar and I'm going to meet a guy / girl / person / table / whatever it is. And the way I'm going to get over my social anxiety is by pretending I'm my character from Boyfriend Dungeon. So maybe. That's the most exciting thing I can offer you guys, because Wizards is still not. It's like, it feels like they're punishing us. It's like, oh, you guys said bad things about us, but you want to know when the 50th anniversary is? Not gonna tell you. Till next time, I'm the OGGM. Drive careful out there. It feels like every state of the union is having weather, and not the good fun kind. So stay safe.